Hello. Yeah, the refresh. That's what it was, Andy. You're right. All right, let me make sure I hear myself. Sounds like you do. Yep. We're live. We're live. All right, I see people filing in. What were we talking about yesterday? CXAI? Jeez. Anyway, currently, guys, I am long a shit ton of Kodak, and I am not recommending anybody buy it. But let me tell you what I like about it. It's threatening right here, right now, to break back through its 5-day moving average, which has been holding it down. But look at this daily chart. Just a beautiful consolidation here, right at the 10 SMA. I mean, when you say a daily chart looks juicy, this is a great example for me of a juicy daily chart. You had a giant volume run, and to be expected, a little bit of consolidation, a few days of pullback. But usually, after an event like that, the first test is going to be the rising 10 SMA. This is the third day in a row now that it's holding the bottom of those candle lows. Now, I'm zooming in here a little bit. And as I just said, I've probably got more than I should. But what I really want to see here, and Andy just jumped in with me some as well, I need to see some closing candles throughout our 1 hour session here together. I need to see some closing candles definitively taking out this 5-day moving average. And if we can get that, I'll take this swing trade home, hopefully. But I'm looking for a push today. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 7 days of consolidation sideways after a giant move from 440 above 7. So this is very well needed. And hopefully it's enough to maybe bring some buyers back in and feel safe that maybe they're not chasing a chart like this. So that is one of my positions. I've been in rum. I came in long today and just got a wonderful gift. Took some off. I've taken probably 30% off. And then if we switch over to the intraday 15-minute chart, we do the same drill. Is the rising price being held up by the 10 SMA 15s? So it would be 10 15-minute candles averaged. Gives me this 10 SMA on a 15-minute chart. And that's how I gauge intraday momentum. So, great on that one. Similar to what Kodak was doing back here. I'm sorry. Yeah, Kodak, big move. Look, consolidation. What pushed it higher? The 10 SMA. And now here's round two. And I took some off here. But that's what I'm looking for in Kodak. Let's see if we can I'm going to put a price alert here at yesterday's high, and I'm going to hope that this goes off during the session and we can talk about it. All right, I see people watching. I see people coming in. I assume you guys can hear me, but feel free to use the chat box. If anybody was sent here by support, you have the first right of the floor to get attention. Well, I got myself in this really stupid jam. I'm gonna blame Andy too. Don't even ask me why. There's all this volume back here, and I never got out. Oh well. Hello, Todd. Thank you. Hello, Patrick. I got no silver today, Patrick, but I do have beat, and it's looking impressive, isn't it? Not bad. Let's see. I think I've got an offer to sell some at 340. Let me see. I do. I've got an offer to sell some at 340. Don't anybody front run me. I see the market going to lows here intraday. Okay, we've had a really nice run. I'm trying not to get too aggressive with new positions going into the weekend. It's been mostly closing positions for me going into the weekend. Qubit, boy, that one's another example here, guys. This is probably the best trade I've had all month. Bought some right there. I've been stalking this thing. I saw how it came alive and waited. Boom, I got an alert. It touched the 10 SMA, started to reverse. I bought some. Flipped some yesterday, the day before, and flipped the rest of it yesterday. I've not participated in any of this. I don't know how many of you were here on Tuesday, but I did a live trade in BBAI. I was talking about how the AI sector was going, and BBAI was just really kind of frustrating. And here it is right here. And so I bought some. I added to it. I was already in it, but I added to it with you guys live because I was saying, hey, look, it's pulling back to the 10 SMA. You know what? I'm going to add some. So I added some. I think it was Monday. Yeah, it was Monday, you guys. So that worked out pretty well. I got out of it yesterday. I got out of most of it up here. I've missed this remainder of the move, but you see a stock go from like, $2. Oh, it's basically been a double, and when stocks double 100%, you're living on borrowed time if you haven't taken profits. I'll just tell you that. Patrick, good question. I'm turning away from the nano nukes. I feel like that sector is kind of dying. Not dying. It's losing its luster. It can't get above its averages. They're all in the armpit now. When I was trading them, they were all bouncing off the 10 SMA. Now they've crossed over the other side of the mountain. Also under the armpit. NNE probably looks the best of them. Quite honestly, it's still holding its 20. But I'll tell you, I think where these hot little sectors, they moved from the nanos to the AI sector, right? What we have to do is look at CXAI today, BBAI, Sound, all the second and third tier names. These are the holiday runners. BWXT is not a small cap, but it's also in the running. And it's doing the same thing, Joe. It's just giving way. It's no longer playing ball. And at some point, these beautiful moves from whatever you had in BWXT, at some point they will kind of just peter off, for lack of a better word. And that's what I see here. I see just no man's land. I see a drippy candle. There's no moving average support in sight. So the bloom is kind of off the subsector rows. It's coming into AI and it's coming into quantum computing. Qubit. What was the other one Andy showed me? QBTS. I just added it today. I'm so mad that I lost track of this. Take a look at this one, you guys. This is what I'm talking about. Stock comes to life. Oh, interesting. Oh my God, this thing is for real. What's this all about? This should be on your radar. And it wasn't. It wasn't on my radar because if it was, I would have seen this right here. I would have been jumping all over that. Just like I did jump over in QUBT, but I missed this one. I'm kind of bummed about that. That was that QUBT. So what I'm getting at here is, guys, AI and quantum computing seem to be the new darling at the moment. Brian Shannon shared with me a couple of, I'm a little under the weather, sorry. Quantum computing. If you guys want to take a screenshot of that, you're welcome to. I have yet to do this, but I'm going to add these into my watch list. I got this from Brian. And there's that QBTS. If I'd have been paying attention the day he gave this to me, I would have probably seen that. And then he also gave me, I believe, what was the other one he gave me? Quantum and AI, I think. No, what are these? Oh. Let's look at these together. RCAT? The hell is RCAT? ONDS. I don't know what list. This is the first time I've gone through this list. Computer. I know UAVS is aerial. What's UMAC? Unusual machines. Okay, so these are like automated machines. Oh, maybe it's robotics. That's what he's probably looking at, robotics. And I'll make a prediction. These names, the robotics subsector might not even be on the radar yet, but it could be soon. And that's That's what I'm going to take a look at. And then, of course, Tesla is robotics. Tesla is building robots. Did I lose a chart? I guess I did, huh? Oh, shoot. Got to reload my layout. Unless I can find it. No, I closed it. All right. File, load layout. Default. Bring me back home. Okay, so getting back into BXWT, let's take a look at that, Joe. Where would we set an alert? I'm going to set an alert right there at the 50. I think it has a date with that 50-day SMA. It's kind of a pivot there as well. So this is workflow 101, you guys. We've got an idea, but it's not ready. It's not ripe. It's a great sector, but the stock is still working off some sellers. And technically speaking, I would be much more interested when it comes down to that 50-day, that rising blue line. And so all I do is I set an alert to remind me. Sorry. Okay. Where are we? Yeah, let's try and personally, there's not much else that I'm really doing. Guys, I mentioned this Kodak. I really would, if this Kodak can go and blast off, it'll really make for a good day because it's on the heels of RUM and on the heels of CXAI. I've been in DJT, haven't sold this one. I just like the way it's kind of creeping. Rumble and DJT are both, the new media platform. I mean, if you think about it, there's a lot of people probably saying, old media is dying out there. People are losing faith in watching a television screen, and they're coming to new platforms to get their information. So this makes for a perfect opportunity market storm for Rumble Video, which is competing with YouTube. And then not Truth Social, but digital media, which is more than just Truth Social. It's going to be a whole media platform. I've listened to Devin Nunes, the CEO, interview, and I was kind of enlightened as to some of the plans they have for digital media, DJT. BBAI back close to highs. All right, I don't think I've lost any. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Todd. Yeah, that Qubit. I told Brian Shannon the moment I bought this, I said, "You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm buying this Qubit at the 10 SMA." And it was, if you guys were here with me on Monday, I did kind of a sermon on being contrarian. And when you're contrarian and you pull the trigger and you're right, boy, you can get some beautiful, beautiful trades. I don't think I could have gotten a better entry than I did right there. Waited a day and just started laddering out. That's it. That's all I like to do. Sure, I look at this and I go, oh, I missed that. But you know what? You can't think like that. You have to be happy with the amazing entry that I had, identified the right stock, the right moment, and then contrarian out, right? Contrarian in, contrarian out. I'm buying when they're selling, and I'm selling when they're reaching up and buying. Let's take a look at it again, Lonnie. Sorry. The first list I showed was, this was, I could probably zoom this in. There we go. This is quantum computing. Here's the list. So far on this list, all I've traded is Qubit, QUBT. What I think I'm going to do after this is over is I'll look at we can look at a couple of charts now. Let's do that together. Let me bring this over. Let's look at see which ones might be in play. ARQQ, that's a good looking chart. So I'm going to put an alert right there. QSI, also a pretty decent looking chart. I'm going to put an alert right there. Wilds, WLDS. WLDS. Ugly chart. Downtrend can't get out of its way. RGTI. Darn good looking chart. A day late. There's qubits. We saw that one. Oh, QMCO is another one. Right in there. Now, these alerts I'm putting in are probably just going to be for day trades. LAES, ugly, and PDYN. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to let those stocks mature. And if the alerts go off and I start playing them, I'll probably put them into my watch list by way of just clicking the heart symbol. So it shows up over here on my watch list. These are all the stocks I'm kind of interested in. All right, you're welcome, Lonnie. Todd, where can I see more of your trading portions on a daily basis? Oh, I don't really, broadcast them. I mean, I will tell you guys this though. I mean, I'm not going to just put my trades out there. I used to do that on social media, but I don't really do that anymore. I've got a lot going on here at Trade Ideas. But we've only got really myself, Andy, and Chris Varley now. And so there's three of us to spread out 5 days a week at 12 Eastern. So you guys get this 1 hour. And again, this 1 hour is dedicated to Trade Ideas product support. But we never really fill up the full hour. Seems like when I come on here, I'm doing more kind of trading teaching than I am configuring teaching or scan teaching. And I don't mind that because I tell you, I think for the people who have found this place for free, I've been doing this a long time and I can give some pretty decent free advice. I don't mind giving it. So with that said, Todd, I will be in here probably twice a week. So, and I'm always sharing, what I'm watching. And Andy does the same thing. And when Andy comes in, guaranteed some of the same things that we're in. We talk a lot. Are you and Brian? No, I'm not in any trade room. I'm friends. I'm a personal friend of Brian. We had lunch a couple months ago when he came out to San Diego in October. And I'll tell you a funny story. I started doing trading on YouTube back in like 2008. I was doing music videos. I was playing bass, seeing what people thought, and they thought I was okay, and that made me feel good. But I was trading, and I said, "Hey, wait a minute! I could probably make some trading videos. I wonder who's doing trading videos." And there was not very many people on YouTube in 2008 making not live, but recorded trading videos of your desktop. And then I realized real quick that the people that were doing it were only showing their winning days. So I tried something different. I started showing losing days and bad trades and how to manage. And that resonated, as you can imagine, a lot more with people. And time went on and I found Brian at Alpha Trends and watched his stuff. I thought, boy, this guy's good. He's not one of these other shysters that are out there. So I reached out. And he had heard of me and I heard of him. Before you know it, we met at one of these stock twits events. And we've became personal friends. I've been out to his house many times. We've gone skiing a lot. And he's been out here a lot. So he's a good friend and a good trader. And we trade very similarly. That's why I mentioned his name. We'll trade information throughout the day. Michael, I don't know, Patrick. They might offer him, but I don't know if he would want to do that. I know he's still going to continue to do his Stats Edge trading company now. It would be a representative for himself on Trader TV, but Trader TV has reached out to us. I owe Brendan an email. Trade Ideas is going to start doing probably a bi-weekly or every other week segment where it'll be myself or Andy or Chris Farley, and we'll go on and we'll talk about whatever. But as far as Michael, I don't know if he'd want to do that. They're in Toronto. They'll continue to have him on. He's just as content living at home, working in front of a green screen. I don't blame him. All right. what's going on out there? Take a look at my positions. That's what I want to see. I want to see the intraday 10 SMA holding the price as best it can. I'd love to get some of this beat off at 340, Patrick, but I don't know if I'll be able to. Codex, just this feels like the one that might want to try, but it's not doing anything at the moment. What is CXA? Oh, CXAI pulled back. Look at that. That might be a place to add. Yeah, why not? I'll buy some more. I mean, I'll add some more on that pullback. I've been kind of fading out of it. Yeah, and babysitting. Michael likes babysitting now. He's being more of a Mr. Mom. He sent me a picture of he blew up his laundry room. He put too much soap in the clothes laundry. Yes, I do use the anchored VWAP, Lonnie. I'll show you something. I've got an extra chart down here that I keep sometimes, and I'll pull this up and say, okay, CXAI. Let's see, anchored VWAP. How about off of here? Ooh, interesting. So using that big spike back there, there might be some room for CXAI to run up to 250. So I'll put an alert up there just to remind me. Oh yeah, that's a perfect example, Lonnie, of how I would use his anchored VWAP. It's not my primary indicator, but when I'm looking at the bigger picture saying, okay, where can this thing go? Or where might the support be if I'm wrong? I'll pop a anchored VWAP in there and use that. So good question. Okay, let's see. I'm just so mad that I missed this chart. Let me just show you. Like, God, if I had seen that right there, like developing that day, I would have been all over that. Again, because it's the sector. The sector is on fire. And this is the time of year, guys, I'm going to tell you, and Brian and I were discussing it as well. It's goofy season. It seems like there's no sellers and there's only retail buyers. And they find a subsector, niche sector that just continues to go and doesn't pull back into the Christmas holiday. And it feels like these quantum computing and AI stocks might just be that particular euphoric sector that just grinds higher into the holiday. But then once the new year comes, all bets are off. Just absolutely stuck in this thing. Maybe Kodak will go and rescue me. That haven't realized it yet. I'm a swing trader. I take things home overnight. I saw a great stat too. I forgot where it was. It's probably a zero hedge article, but the money has been made in this market overnight. They showed two graphs, the change, overnight change, and then the regular market hours change. And it's like 75% of this bull market is overnight, and 25% of it was like regular hour participation. So that means like if you just bought the close and held the open, uh, sold the open, made money on the gap each night, it's kind of frustrating when you think about it. That shouldn't be the way a market goes higher, but it is. So it is what it is. Okay. Trade wave buys. I think there is. I don't use. I'm going to go back just real quick before I do the, I show you. I've got this secondary chart that I use, and I've got the trade wave turned on it. So no matter what I want to look at, it's telling me yes, CXAI is a buy. What's DJT? DJT is a buy. Okay, good. I'm in there. What's Kodak? Kodak's a buy. Good. I'm in that. Personally, I don't feel like I need it, so I'm able to find my own trades, but it's always nice to just kind of be backed up by the fact that the algorithm of the um, trade wave is there. But as I understand it, if we go to Market Explorer, Michael did create a couple of trade wave, but I don't know if they're any good. Trade wave. Trade wave buy daily, trade wave buy. Let's do buy dailies. Okay. So again, I got to this by going to new Market Explorer, right click and select strategy. And this is the trade wave menu. There's just so many things in here. You can get lost. Let's bring up the trade wave window. So I have a chart. And then we can just start to go through these. And everything on here will be, there's a B. Okay, so there's a buy. Oracle. CTBB was a buy. Oracle is a buy. So it looks like the most freshest of the dailies are here at the top. Sometimes you have to zoom out and maybe that one, I don't know why that's not a B on there. Here you go. But to answer your question, Debbie, this is going to be the way to go. If you want ideas that are just showing you trade wave buy signals. But again, like I said, personally, I find my own trades. I'll look at it, but I don't use it to find my trades. And there's another one in there on 5 minutes. So you'd use a 5-minute chart. And then there's another one for weekly charts. Like if you're an investor and you just want to go real slow. I want this Kodak to break out in the worst way. And it might. It's got a shot. We'll see. It's a good conversation. It's turning into a pinch play here, isn't it? 5-day and the 10 SMA. We're getting pinched. So I'm about ready to maybe get a resolution to let me know if this thing does want to go or if it's going to fail. Do you have your stopped? You probably have your pre-market on. I don't use pre-market or post-market. And if you have both on, it makes it even more. So you said yours is 678. There's the answer. You've got pre-market and post-market. So if I turn those off, pre-market and post-market are not really things I want to see during the day. I don't mind it during the regular session. And there you go. And I can tell you from my experience, stopped out, that not using the pre and post market makes this indicator a lot more accurate. So that's why I do not use pre and post market. They mess up my averages. Now, what do we go? Oh, we got 1 minute and 1 minute away from possibly an official signal candle. What do I mean by that? That candle broke through but couldn't close. That candle broke through but couldn't close. We got 40 seconds for this candle to post a close, and then we start building a new candle. And when I mentioned a minute ago, what's going to be the resolution of this cornering, this pinch, the resolution is answered by which side of the line can we get the first closing candle. So it looks like we might be about ready to get a closing candle. All right, that should have been it. Let's see if we can build on that. Go back to Kodak. Hasn't made any trades since the last closing, but nonetheless, that's good. There we go. We got a new trade there. So now Kodak is definitively above. That's a good sign to start with. Let's see what happens. What happened to that CXAI? Hey, that was a good ad. Remember, I pulled that up and I saw it's pulling back right now. Well, the stock is in play today. And when you see an aggressive pullback like that, I'm already in it, but I just bought back what I had sold higher. Put it that way. My plan is to really not take a lot home this weekend. I want to try and take profits where I can. I just don't like long. It's not a long weekend, but this market's been doing so good, and I don't know. I just don't feel like having it fully invested right now. I'm just kind of more selectively trading and taking quick profits because I don't really trust that there could be a rug pull at any moment. You never know. It's been a great run. I just want to kind of protect what I've done. That MindMed, I like that company, but it's curious. It can't get back above. It's kind of stuck now. Speaking of stuck, I would love for this blue line to trigger while I'm speaking to you guys at 694. I'm going to move it to 696, a little bit higher. The tippy top of these wicks back here. All right, I'm always happy to look at somebody's chart that you're in. It always helps me if you're telling me you're in it or you're looking to buy it or what. But if you dare, I'll give you the unbiased opinion. Yeah, Nibis. I played that one earlier. Dan showed me that one. This is a Russian stock, and I think it might even be kind of like a Russian AI. I'm not really sure, but I like this. I like the way the stock is performing. Um, Now, if you're already in it, you're liking it. So that's why you got to tell me what you like. I don't know if I'd buy it here, but if you're in it, just say that was a great test right there. Stay in it. However, I get a little nervous when you see that much space between the rising 10 SMA and the price. It's just a matter of time before you get that big drawdown. So don't forget to take profits, when you can. Serve. Looks like yesterday was the beginning of a move and another one, great one, but it's got a lot of distance here between the current price and the support. So it just depends on how much you want to try and get out of that one. I don't think I would take an entry here. I would definitively tell you don't enter a stock that looks like this with a giant green bar. You're just asking for a pullback against you. I see Patrick said Kodak. Does that mean it's doing something? You haven't been hearing me talk about Kodak? I love it. I'm heavily, heavily, heavily weighted into this thing. I have a strong conviction, but that doesn't mean I'm saying buy it. ACHR put up a good move last week, and it's fighting back. Archer Aviation. Cool. Yeah, human drone looks like. What else we say? Oh, okay, yeah. In the go no go for Kodak. That's what you were describing. Gotcha, Patrick. Yeah, yeah. All systems seem go for that Kodak. I'm hoping. Zeta. So Zeta, you can see the 50-day SMA is the problem, and sometimes you expend a lot of energy getting up to that. It doesn't cut through like quickly. It's going to do what it's doing. So it's just kind of slogging back and forth. I would say keep an eye on that 50 SMA. If it can get above that, then it might have some more behind it. RBLX. Great looking chart. It's probably time to take some profits if you're in it. What I would do, and this is a perfect example of me using a signal candle. You've got all of these up here, and the musical chairs is starting. Who's going to take profits first? Well, the first signal closing candle below the rising 10 SMA is what I would do to get out of that one to lock in my profits. Would I buy this chart here? No, it's too extended. That is the biggest rookie move anybody could do, would be to buy a chart that looks like this with all those green bars. It needs a break. But what you can do is say, hey, if it comes back down to this level, I might be interested. Maybe the moving averages will be lining up, and that was prior resistance. So you see, you guys, I use this price alert a lot. Otherwise, you're just going to get lost chasing your tail. And so I can create future opportunity on charts I like at the moment, but are just way too extended. I can keep them on the radar. Kind of like this. This is interesting. I like this one. This one is much more of an entry type candidate. Got way ahead of itself. It's been pulling back, pulling back. The rising 5-day SMA is coming into play here. I'd watch that. That's the 5-day, and then this is the 10-day. It looks like it might be trying to do something. Not bad. A couple more. Anything that gaps up like that insanely, 400%, and then just sells off, that's not much to work with there. I don't have an opinion. BRT is a nice trend. I think, again, I use this 5-day moving average a lot. This is 130 candles. All it is a 130 SMA. But using 15 minutes, it divides perfectly into 5 days of trading. So I get to look at the 5-day on my zoomed in intraday chart rather than trying to make sense of it on a daily chart. And I would say to you on this one, you just want to stay above that 5-day. Come on, Kodak. You're so close, I can taste it. CXAI holding up there nicely. Buy some more. And if it goes to highs, I'll start flipping it again. AOI was a big sell-off yesterday. It's probably got somewhere to work off. FSLY, Fastly. Nice looking chart, but again, it's getting a bit extended. But if you're already in this one, you want to stay in it because it's held that intraday moving average nicely. Here, let me just check in here and make sure nobody's looking for me. I think rum wants to go back up. That's good. Now, if this CXAI can go back to highs, as it starts making new highs, I'll be flipping out of it, selling it to the people coming in and chasing it. That's why I tell you guys don't chase things, because you'll be buying it from me. X looks like it's starting to do something. I don't know if it's got news, but it's so under pressure. It's so under all the moving averages. I'm not really interested in vaccine companies, and I'm not really seeing much there on the chart. SMST, horrible downtrend, but that could change. All this volume down here could mean something. On a case like this, maybe I'll go back here to that level. It's kind of a pivot, and you could set an alert right there. But I'd want it to break through at least 850 and close above that declining red 20 SMA. That's my take on that one. Something's trying to move for me. It must be rum. See, I'll even get ahead of myself here. What's the high in CXAI? 209. We cleared that. If I look left, 209. What do we got here? That seems like a pretty good level that it hit to begin with. Don't know if it's got much more in there, but what I'll do is what I'm getting at is I'm going to offer some more at 210. So I'll flip it out another chunk at 210 to people who are coming in and chasing it. Let me make sure I got the right one up here. Yep, CXAI, sell, 210. All right, so my order is in. I'm getting ahead of myself, like a pilot staying way ahead of the plane. This thing's acting funny. Doing that. I don't even want that on there. It's acting funny. Change from the close. Tree map. I don't want that. Must be a bug. That's really weird. Anyway, Bitcoin back to let's look at some crypto, shall we? I'm in this XDC. It's part of the X family: XLM, XRP, and XDC. Oh, by the way, watch 60 Minutes Sunday night. The CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, is going to be on 60 Minutes. Whether or not what they talk about doesn't matter. The fact is, people are going to see, what's this? What's Ripple? What's XRP? They're going to talk about the election and how he donated to both parties. That's their story, but that's coming up. XLM is also part of the X family. I'm in that. I'm in Doge. I'm in XDC. And lastly, Dan found this one. This one's called Hedera. And this is like for, this is used for tokenization and trading and selling on the blockchains, ledgers of tokenized assets. And apparently this company makes a hash graph, which is kind of like a certificate, a security certificate on the web. When you go to a site and it says the site's security certificate has expired, well, it's kind of a third-party authentication device, HBAR. So if you want to know what are Steve's favorite cryptos, it's these right here. And I just bought myself a $5,000 guitar to reward myself for the month that it's been around here. in crypto land. Oops. Oh, but I forgot to look at Bitcoin. That's Patrick's point. Yeah. So we might be seeing like Mara. There we go. Riot, Cypher. You see these names coming through. Mara. These are all related to Bitcoin going back to 100,000. It looks like. Well, this is really weird. This tree map is a mess. I'm going to reload my layout. That's better. When in doubt, reload. Oh, Todd. I splurged. I live in San Diego, and my whole life I've wanted a Taylor guitar, and I've waited and I've waited and I've waited, and then when this month came along, they just came out with a limited edition um, 812 CE, and this is a one of 1974. It's the 50th anniversary of Taylor guitar, and they made 1974. That's the year they started of these. And I got to go online and pick one out of 7 with the serial number, and I found the wood grain and everything the way I liked it. If I was shopping in a showroom, you can see right here the handcrafted beveled, beautiful bevel on that. There's a bevel on the cutaway, and it's just an absolute magnificent thing. And so it was worth the wait. Taylor 812 CE. This wood is sinker redwood, meaning when they were logging redwoods in the past, some of them would get stuck under the river and they'd sit for decades. They'd bring them back up, waterlogged, and then they would dry them out, and they made just the most perfect guitar composite material. I mean, wood sound. So yeah, it's coming today. My mail order bride will be here today. I'm pretty excited. I've always wanted one of those, and I told myself I'd wait for the right moment. Yeah, I never really, I had an acoustic. My dad gave it to me. I won't sell it because he gave it to me, but I hate the way it plays. It's an Ovation. And it's probably both ends of the spectrum, the Ovation with the plastic bodies, and then the Taylor guitar, handmade. Kodak, there we go. Let's go, Kodak. Yep. Got Andy sending me a Kodak bear. He's in it too. Kodiak bear. Understanding everything you're talking about. Are you talking about the stocks or the guitar part? Probably the guitar, because you asked me about that. Yeah, the Ovation. And not only that, it's just the neck. It's just narrow. It doesn't play. I've played Martins. I'm sorry, I've never played a Martin. I've played Taylors, like a entry Taylor, and then a medium grade Taylor, which was just like butter. So I know that this is going to play even better than the ones I've played in the past. So I bought it sight unseen. I've got my Telecaster, which I love, but I just don't have a good acoustic that I want to pick up and play all the time. But now I will. All right, I'm losing my voice, but I'll be here another 10 minutes or so we can get back on track and look for any stock related items that you want before I lose my voice. Kodak's making me happy, so I'm going to move this up now to maybe something a little higher. Actually, I'm going to delete that if I can. Yeah, this has been one of these bugs that we have. Okay, so I'm going to have to go in and find it. All the ones that have triggered. I just take the ones that have triggered and just delete them. I find that to be the easiest. That's still there. I need to change charts, that's why. God dang it. There we go. I'm going to set a new price alert, like the low of those candles over there on the left, just to kind of keep tabs on this thing. But yeah, all systems are go there. No, and I'm not short. I'm long. I'm long, big. I'm lean. I've been long since down here, and I sold some, and then I just said I'm going to stay with it, keep my eye on it, and I'm going to add to it when it gets down into here. And so I've added to it in the pullback here. Why do I like Kodak? I'm asking myself that. Nobody's asking me, but I'm going to explain. If you realize we've got a new administration that's done a lot of speaking about bringing home domestic manufacturing through the threat of tariffs and whatnot. And if you recall during COVID, when we had no penicillin or chlorine or generic medications because we relied on another country to build them for us, that was a bad situation. So Kodak is a perfectly poised company with all their capital equipment to turn around and start manufacturing basic chemicals again for the United States. And I fully believe this new administration is going to be behind that. Now, why is this goofing off? Now I've got like a bug showing up here on my tree maps. That's really weird. Huh. And then it adds this for no reason. It adds this. I don't want that. Okay, I'll have to report that later. Yeah, you're correct, Todd. I see Kodak at highs. That makes me happy. So now we have cleared this. This is as simple as I look. Just clear this line, and I'll feel good about it. And we talked about the pinch play earlier. Well, the price has resolved itself to the path of least resistance, which should be higher. What would be my stop for Kodak? Probably the first closing candle at the end of the day under the rising 10 SMA. Like if today didn't work out and this thing just rolled over and closed like that, all I see is no man's land here. So I'm not going to stick around for that. I'm going to say it didn't do what I expected it to do. Therefore, I have no idea what it's about to do. So just get out and regroup when things seem to have more semblance. I'm stuck in this stupid thing. I just need to bounce just to get out. Thank God I've got profits and other things that are working. What's that CXAI doing? Uh-oh. That might have been the high for the day there. But I did lock in some good profits along the way, so I'm kind of playing with the house money. JT would be nice if it could clear this 35. Really cheering on here, I think, is Kodak. I want to see some volume start to come in too, right? So we're only at relative volume 88. I'd like to see the 5-minute volume and the 1-minute volume start to really pick up. I can remove the drop down by unchecking tree map sort menu under properties. That's what I was doing, Pepe, but it kept like coming back. See, it was unchecked. And I don't know why it kept coming back in, but I've lost my data. So like if I let me try configure something and then no, that wouldn't do it. Let's see. Let me change, close, change. Let me do change from open. See if that clears it out. Nope. And look, see how it threw that back in there for me? It's not supposed to do that. So I think I may have found a bug. Um, we'll discuss that with the guys after I'm done here. Yeah, I think we tripped. I think I tripped on something here, Pepe. I'm gonna have to write it up. Well, guys, I'm kind of losing my voice. I've been a little under the weather the last couple of days. That's why Andy was in here. So to encapsulate, I feel like the AI stocks and the quantum computing stocks are going to be the darlings going into this year's Christmas holiday. Oh, yeah, like if I was in that qubit today, I'd be getting out. That would have been my signal candle right there. All right, guys, I'm kind of losing my voice here. If there's any last questions, throw it now. Otherwise, I might shut her down. ARKQ. Let's see. This looks another robotics company, huh? Yeah. It's trending nicely, but why is it gapping so much? Is this a foreign? There's no flag. I can't tell where it's from. We don't have any data on it. I don't even have the. God, I wonder if this is related. The logo's not showing up. It's a nice looking chart, but I don't like all those gaps. This must be a foreign ADR where you just kind of play catch up in US. But it looks like I'm going to have to investigate this tree map issue here. Yeah, I can't pull it up. Oh, this is ARK. Well, ARKK was Kathy Woods, I thought. No? No profile. Yeah, this is the Kathy Wood, isn't it? ARK. Huh. Something seems off. All right, guys, I'm going to go shut it down and report, see what's going on over here and see if Chris has seen any of this. But happy Friday to you all. And if any of you are in Kodak, I'm basically just expecting the 10 SMA to guide this thing higher throughout the day. So we'll see what happens. Oh, a small family of ETFs, that could be it. They're probably related. Yeah. There you go. That makes sense, guys. All right. I got to run. I'm losing my voice. I'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks.